silent night.
You're gonna spend the holidays with your grandparents.
Holy night.
We don't even know them.
I'm just thinking about what's best for you.
This ain't living. No. I got a mouth to feed, but I can't make these ends meet.
I'll see you in church.
Tonight? You tripping.
As for me and my house, we are going to church.
You
need something?
Come on, when are you coming? Putting this together.
Black Nativity. The only way we got co-hosts to see this is because he thought it was a Norwegian black metal band. Oh, you thought it was a horror movie.
I know. I was like, man, this is going to be good.
Oh, I just figured he was there. He was like, ooh, I can't wait to see what Medea's up to this time. And you know what? I bet you most of the people who go to this are going to be thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I know.
Like, wow, Medea's Christmas came early.
Yeah.
Not quite.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just happy this movie finally was able to do something that no movie has, I don't think, ever have done, and that's getting you two motherfuckers in church where you belong.
Yeah, they did. You're right.
They're going to let us in church one way or another. Man, Christmas came early this year.
I like how it wasn't like, the Best Man Holiday or Medea, where they give you a bunch of comedy and slowly lead you to church. You look up and go like, oh, how'd I get here?
No.
This one just grabs you by the wrist and pulls your ass right down, sits you in a pew and makes you sit there for 45 minutes.
It bends your arm around, puts your head on the table. You're going to hear the gospel today. I will not. Yes, you will. I will. Okay. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. And not you two, but I'm going to tell all these black people out there. I know y'all done walk past this poster in the theater, and you walk by and say, oh, another Medea movie. And see, y'all didn't look at that poster good. You just saw, it was like a Christmas tree of black people.
Right.
It was like a pyramid of black people. And y'all walk by thinking, oh, no, Medea's in there somewhere. She is not here.
No.
This is not a Tyler Perry movie. This is, okay, so if that movie, the Best Man Holiday, if that was Tyler Perry light, this is goddamn Tyler Perry busting through the wall in a Mack truck, man.
This shit ran over Tyler Perry.
Well, it's like Tyler Perry without the intentional joke, the intentional bad jokes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And yet the quality is no better. It's like all those things you see in Tyler Perry movies. Like, man, why is I always got to do that? Now here they didn't do that. Here we got the same result.
and on top of that, they made this shit a musical.
Oh yeah,
it was a musical through and through.
That's always tricky to begin with. You got to have some good songs, and you go like, oh hey, Oscar winner Jennifer Hudson, and she tore it up in Dreamgirls, so I'm sure she's gonna bring it this time.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I think it's a musical because I didn't see it. It's based on a poem from Langston Hughes,
Right.
And this was a play, right?
Yeah.
Off-Broadway play. I don't know if that was a musical or not. Honestly, I don't know anything about it. So
Probably was.
Yeah.
It looked like a play that they could easily do at church.
It does. It totally has that look.
Don't need a set or
Everything
anything.
about it screams play.
Yeah.
Not Broadway musical, perhaps, but like, a church Easter play, a Christmas play, Christmas at school, where you're sitting there watching your kid. Come on, baby, you could do it. Come on. All right, see, there she goes.
All right, yeah.
My baby got talent.
Well, the reason why I wonder if this is based on a musical, because I was surprised to learn that the people responsible for the music in this, it's a girl named Laura Cartman, but then Raphael Sadiq.
I know.
From
Tony
has done it again.
Yeah.
Maybe not this time.
Well, it's weird because, just on paper, there's a lot of talent that has gone into this.
Oh,
I mean, based around the works of the famous poet Langston Hughes, Forrest Whitaker, Angela Bassett, Jennifer Hudson. Yeah, we mentioned Raphael Sadiq. And then, on the other side, you got Tyrese, who's, he's charismatic.
Of course.
He brings that.
He can sing, right?
Yeah. And little kid in it, little Lattimore boy. What's his name?
Lattimore boy.
Yeah. Jacob Lattimore. He's a teen pop star.
Jacob Lattimore. Who the fuck named that kid that? Was that a joke?
Lattimore's his last name.
I know. I just when I hear it, then you know what I'm saying?
Jacob Lattimore. Yeah, it sounds like
I can't but hear about Jacob Ladder. Yeah.
It's L-A-T-I.
Yeah.
You know this boy. You know
Jacob Ladder.
You know this boy's dad. He's watching that Tim Robbins movie. Yeah. And when the kid comes to the room, like, boy, this is a good movie. You named after this.
Yeah.
Then I watch this shit with me. Yeah. This is your heritage right here.
Oh, I wish his head could have acted like Jacob's Ladder, like when he's singing those songs.
And it's directed by Cassie Lemons, who did
Eve's Bayou.
Yeah, Eve's Bayou, then Caveman's Valentine and stuff. So, but looking at all this, it's like, man, you know what? Despite this horrible poster, like the worst poster I've seen in my life, this may end up being a good movie and shut a lot of people up.
Yeah.
No.
No. It's like, but you can also imagine how this could go horribly wrong. And that's pretty much what happened.
That poster looked like some cheap Walmart
It did.
bargain bin shit too, didn't it?
It was like somebody said, like, hey, Bobby, you got Photoshop? You can put us something together? I ain't got Photoshop necessarily, but I got D-Paint. I'm sure I can do something.
Hey, Bobby, your cousin's still doing them rap CDs? Rap CDs?
Windows Paint to the rescue.
He do a movie poster for me real quick. I'll give him $5.
Damn.
What you gonna say, man?
Oh no, I was. What the hell was I gonna say? No, I was gonna say. It is. As far as everyone involved in this movie, it is like having like. You got the recipe for a great cake. You got all the recipes, but don't worry, you can still fuck it up.
Oh yeah.
No matter what you got.
It really is. I didn't know what it was about. I knew I was gonna get into some kind of cheap shit. And when I say cheap, this is a low budget movie. It doesn't look that cheap. It's just for what they're trying to do. I don't think they quite have the budget for it, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But this right here, again, not having seen the play, I don't know how close it is to that. But you got Jennifer Hudson. She's on the brink of foreclosure in our house.
Yeah, single mom.
Mom, that's right.
Teenage son.
Yeah, and she was, and you could tell. I mean, she's so young that she had this kid when she was probably a teenager. But
she was like 12.
He's out there. Yeah. The black community is in trouble, Cole. Thank God we got Jesus and music.
Oh, he'll take care of everything.
But her son, played by Jacob Ladder, he's out there causing trouble in the streets and everything, but he's still a good son. He comes back home and says, Mama, we on foreclosure. Why don't you tell me I can help you? And she said, well, you can't help me by getting the fuck out of here so I don't have to buy food for your ass.
I know. He gets the boot.
Yeah, she sends him. Now, they're in Baltimore. But she says, you know what, baby, well, I get this together. I'm going to send you to your grandparents in Harlem. His grandparents are played by Forrest Whitaker and Angela Bassett. And by the time the kid gets there, I mean, the moment he gets off the bus, he's already racially profiled. He actually finds somebody's wallet and says, "Sir, here's your wallet." Nigga, get on the floor.
But don't forget, before that, he goes through the cliche New York experience of getting mugged right as soon as he steps onto the street.
5-year-old.
He gets mugged by the littlest girl.
I was like, if you can't chase down a 5-year-old to get your wallet back, you don't deserve to have it.
No, you don't. She earned that wallet getting it from you. Shit, he told not just the wallet, but took his whole backpack. His backpack was bigger than she was.
Exactly. She was like, looked at him first.
I know.
Looked at her, and she just yanked it. Yoink!
I was like, you don't look too cool in New York getting fucking your shit stolen by Dora the Explorer.
The black Dora the
Yeah.
you know New York ain't made for you.
I know.
Shit, the city's about to rape your ass and shit you out.
No shit.
New York City, just like I pictured it. Skyscrapers
And everything. Yeah, while you looking up. But his grandparents end up getting him out of jail, and oh man, you can already tell it's gonna be a ride because Forrest Whitaker shows up and he's like, "I don't accept people in my house who steal."
I was told to expect my grandson, not some pickpocket. So anxious to transgress that rather than wait for his grandparents as he was instructed, he'd run off and violate the first law that he could.
There ain't no damn pickpocket. I wasn't lifting that guy's wallet. I was giving it back. Look, this kid jacked my backpack and took all my money. I was trying to call you.
Well, no one's pressing charges, so we're releasing him into your custody, sir.
Well, welcome to New York, young man.
I know. I didn't know his
Serious
grandfather
mode.
was going to be Dr. Valentine Narcisse.
Narcisse from Boardwalk Empire, yeah. And the kid is like, yeah, I love you too, Grandpa, who I haven't seen in fucking years. But they take him to the house, and his grandfather's stern. His grandfather's Forrest Whitaker, and his grandmother's Angela Bassett. And the grandfather's stern because he's a preacher. And that's all you need to know. If anything, that's a question that comes up. Is like, how did your high-strung, tight-ass get this fine-ass woman right here?
Well, you know what? She was probably all churched up at the time.
Oh, yeah.
He was a preacher, in a position of power.
That's it.
He had his choice of the flock, and he chose her because who wouldn't? But it's just funny that their whole marriage is him being, now see here, young man, and I walked with Dr. King. You see this watch right here? And she's all like, oh, don't mind him. He's all right. And the little boy, the whole time is like, why my mama talk to you guys? How come you don't know about me? I don't know about you? And Angela Bassett's always like, because, oh, look at this. Would you like a cup of tea? It's like,
How about she's trying to drug his ass?
Yeah, I know.
Hey, can anybody answer this kid's question?
You know what? It was almost like Angela Bassett. She was looking at him like, please don't ask any questions. He'll come back and beat me.
I know. The whole time you look
all
like,
nervous and
you
shit.
look like, is this woman a prisoner in this house or what's going on? Not only a prisoner of the house, but a prisoner of the church. You know?
I know, man. Now, the problem with the movie for me is that it just doesn't have what it really takes to be a musical. And I'm not even saying that it needs a big budget. It helps with a musical so you can have some rousing numbers.
Sure.
You can have some nice set pieces. But for this, the music if you're going to be a musical, this is kind of bland. There's nothing memorable about this music at all.
The song sounded kind of cheap and just kind of like thrown together once again. But yeah, the fact that the way it's filmed, it catches you off guard when they start singing just out of the blue to where something just doesn't feel right. They're trying to make it like a really urban type of Christmas movie that's very much grounded, and then when it gets into all this singing, you see people walking by. I mean, it makes for an odd kind of film.
It's awkward, and when you mentioned budget, the thing about a musical is. It's like you really can't do a cheap musical. Like if you're going to commit to a musical, you got to have the budget. There was Kevin Spacey, that movie Beyond the Sea, where he played Bobby Darin and did it as a musical because I think he had done it live as a music, live musical play. Decided to make a movie, and watching it's like there's nothing wrong with the acting. The songs aren't even that bad. But these numbers you're putting together, you don't have the money for it. And so it ends up looking silly instead of, sweeping you in the pageantry. And Coach, you're right. These songs, they aren't that good. Nothing's well staged. It's all, when they go from talking to singing, it's not organic. And a lot of it is like, okay, Jennifer Hudson, she's one of the greatest singers of all time. And yet, whenever she's
Not if you ask Simon Cowell.
he just couldn't make any money off of it.
Too black.
And yet, whenever she's talking or even she's singing, she has this look on her face like she got kidnapped and brought there. And somebody was holding a gun on her off stage the whole time.
Which is too bad because both Forrest Whitaker and Tyrese Gibson, I think they're both good. I actually thought Forrest Whitaker, this is a great performance. It's just too bad you in some shit that looks like a TV movie.
Oh, I know.
I just love that every time they tried to hint at like maybe Forrest Whitaker was probably going to sing because I was like thinking, is this dude really going to sing? Because every time he's like, well, if I can say one thing, and then
it just
stop.
That was one point he actually did that. And then they just...
No. I think he was like, he pulled the plug on that shit. That's in my contract.
That's
I ain't singing this shit.
You got 2 notes out of it.
They let him sing a little bit more later, but it was after everybody saying, they were just kind of like, all right, come on. You like the last person they want to put out in the field to play baseball,
Yeah, exactly. That's how it felt.
You're the person at the end of the year where they say, all right, we obligate to put you out in the field for a little bit.
But I like how it's like Fight Club, where it's like, if you show up in this movie, you must sing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Tyrese, don't you be standing over in the corner. Come on over here and sing. No, all right, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is that after a while, it did start to feel kind of like a play because you realized how, as much as they had characters coming in, a lot of times it did feel like, wow, this seems like a very small world for it being in New York. It seemed like only these handful of people exist in this world.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I thought not only were the songs just not well put together, but the message of what they were trying to get across just kept beating you over the head time and time
That's
again.
because they stopped and they went. It became church. Forrest Whitaker went to church, and you went with him.
Well, especially with the kid who sounded like a fucking broken record, just going like, "Wow, where's my daddy? And how come Grandma and Grandpa don't love me? Where were you guys? Where?" I mean, it's like over and over and over.
Oh, I know.
again.
Every 5 minutes, he's guaranteed. What happened with my dad and my mama?
Yeah.
Why don't you tell me something? Somebody should have told him just, all right, boy, God damn it. All right,
That's how I felt. I was like, if anybody real would have done that or told him to just shut up and eat this nice meal we prepared for you.
Oh, yeah.
Not the government cheese and oatmeal that your mama was giving you.
I know shit.
I know you love your mama, but did your mama really feed you like this?
No.
Did your mama get you a nice little coat like this?
Exactly.
No. Shut the fuck up.
Because it seemed like once he got established in their house and then you find out there's a mystery, it's almost like there was it really had nothing to do. It's like the movie was kind of scrambling for all right, we got about 15 minutes we got to fill with something, and I don't know.
Well, with this story, what happened was because it's an urban story, it went that urban route. I'm not going to say what happened, but it kind of produced when you got a young black kid who's under pressure. I don't know what to do. You know what he's going to do after a while.
I know.
He's in movies.
Yeah.
And I love how he's the softest kid he could be, and yet the thing he decided to do was like, come on, man.
And that's
you see that on
thing.
cartoons.
You can't be looking hard at the beginning of the movie, vandalizing and throwing shit and walking with your boys, and all of a sudden you're like, yeah, we did some shit today. Yeah. Oh, this pressure in the streets is getting to me. Like, man, all right, you know what? Come on, I don't want to hear that shit.
It does start to get silly.
And the other thing is they try to bring in, they try to show you the where we actually get to the black nativity.
Yeah.
What their version of the birth of Jesus. That was some cheese, man.
But you know what? It reminded me of Rent. It just that whole we're struggling and poor, but we're noble and we're not about the dollar and we have love and we can sing and we're artists and people should just give us free money and help us out. I was just like, here we go with that Rent shit. It's just so New York, streets of New York.
That's a good point, man. Because that's what it reminded me of. Because I did not like Rent.
I hated Rent.
It felt. That's the thing. It felt. You guys are mentioning Rent, and I was like, maybe that's the other problem I had. It felt so dated. The material itself felt completely dated.
Yeah.
I mean, but you are right though. When they get to that whole they're the retelling of the story of Jesus, but it's like they're doing their version of it. Their $10 version of it.
That's some cheesy shit.
I know. I just loved it. I just loved it when you see the baby and it's actually a black baby, and then it cuts to a shot of Jesus on the stained glass, and he's white, and he's looking confused, like what? Wait, whoa, what's going on?
Jesus looking like that ain't me.
Yeah.
Put that baby back.
That's the wrong story.
This is black nativity. In fact, that Jesus in that window got up and walked out.
I know.
That's
He's
the story
like
of
disappointed.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. It's not as bad as I'm trying to make it sound because it's more just real, just like I said, it's just really corny, man. It's excuse me, I'm choking up right now. It's getting to me. What they're doing here is that they're trying to mix a lot of things at one time, and I don't know what they're trying to do with this message of Jesus that does not at all really go very well with this story of this boy trying to get back with his family. I know it's like two lost children or something. I don't know what the fuck they're trying to say.
It had nothing to do with the absolute.
It made the movie longer.
With the movie itself, what this family is going through. I mean, besides the fact that everything's going to get fixed with Jesus. We're all under Jesus' roof, so this is where shit gets fixed. And I'm like, is that what you're trying to say is your message? Because that doesn't make any sense. Right. You guys have a lot of deep shit going on that I know you guys can sing and tune together, but that don't make you a family just yet. It's like there's a lot of deep-seated stuff that needs to get explored.
You're right. It's one of those movies where I watch where they go, and here's the resolution, and I go like, yeah, but what happens tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. In fact,
I just couldn't buy it.
While they're trying to get to a good resolution, I ain't gonna say what happened, but it looks like there's a part where Tyrese is actually trying to walk away. It surprised me to be responsible. I will say about the music though, they didn't go as far with it as I thought they would, because when they started singing, I thought that they were actually going to continuously keep singing. I was thinking to myself,
you think like Jesus Christ Superstar?
Yeah. And I was saying, thank God that they actually are just coming in spurts.
Yeah.
And like sometimes it's short, and even then it still doesn't seem to to really fit into the story. Rapper Nas plays a prophet in this movie, Prophet Isaiah, and they introduce him kind of strong at first. Riding on the bus, he sees the Jacob kid, and he drops like a couple of rhymes. Hey kid, where you going? Because I'm not knowing. And then it just and it just stopped. You know,
Like, what the hell?
Like, hey everybody, it's celebrity artist Nas who's here.
Right.
Hey, so sit down and rap a few tunes for us.
Well, don't forget, who was it? Was that Mary J. Blige?
Oh yeah,
She,
Mary J.
that was
Blige.
another one. Just kind of came in and out.
She came in dressed up as an angel, just singing on a scaffold. I was like, is she going to paint up there? What's going on?
That big white wig on.
Yeah,
but
it's a program at the church where the people sitting in the audience watching it are also in the play itself.
Yeah,
I'm like,
watching
well, who's it
themselves.
for?
Yeah, well, they're watching themselves sing the song while they're doing it back and forth. But I thought there was kind of an unnecessary couple in the movie that just show up just to represent the poor.
Is that the homeless couple that he's talking about?
The
rent couple.
Oh yeah, the rent couple. But I was like, wow, these guys are poor because they fucking dress nicer than I do.
I know.
I was like, they got all kinds of like leather jackets and like scarves. They got like, I mean,
the fucking chick is like a model.
yeah, she looks like a model, and her hair is like perm, like crazy. Like I was like, I'm sorry, but you got to go to a beauty salon to get your hair to look like that, that nice.
Now she may look like a model, but she's also a crackhead, so that would explain.
The best looking crackhead. Where
She's that crackhead that
she just started.
Yeah,
she's that crackhead that you hope will come up to you and say, "I'll suck your dick."
I know.
It's like, okay.
I know. This guy's playing his nice Gibson guitar, and I'm like, wow, it's like they got a lot of nice shit for homeless people.
Man, who was that chick? Is she somebody?
No, I mean you see.
She should
stuff
be.
here and there.
She's gorgeous.
But I saw her name afterwards.
Yeah,
I was
she's
like,
fucking
who
hot.
is this girl? And when I saw her name, I was like, okay, she's one of those people you just see in the background. And stuff.
She's the type of chick you pray to God homeless people look like. You know, you go help them more. Yeah, she would not be homeless.
I like the way
her
I
on the street.
Is this girl something? And Cole's like, yeah, she's fine.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you got eyes.
She is hot. Yeah.
Did any of you think that like the character who was demonized, like when it was all said and done, that he was right for what he did?
The one who was demonized.
Which one?
Oh, Forrest Whitaker.
Because
Because I was like, I don't know. I don't think it was that bad.
He could have handled his situation better, but I see his point.
Yeah.
I see what he was doing.
When you look at the whole landscape and everything, it's like, hey man, he tried something.
I do like how shit kind of backfired, but that was my favorite part of it. I was like, oh, this is Tyler Perry shit.
I like the way he just busted his ass in church too.
Yeah, I know, in front of his whole congregation.
Yeah, in front of the whole congregation.
I know, this is like the best episode of Jerry Springer ever in the Black church.
Oh, damn, I wish I could find out who this girl is.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm telling you, you're gonna see her name and you're gonna like, I don't know.
I guarantee you're going to see her again.
All right. Well, anyway, man, this is something that this is something that I already saw in church. I'll perform this, probably in church at one time. This is something that I am going to watch again when I will see this again. And I will watch it when my mama has it on DVD, not Blu-ray, but on DVD, and she guilts me into sitting down and watching this with her.
Watch this good movie, Corey.
Yeah.
Excellent film for the holidays.
It's that movie that I'm going to have to sit down and watch with her because it's going to break her heart to find out that I'm not a religious person.
Well, a very special Meet the Colemans.
Yeah. She's probably going to point you out in the movie because there's a hilarious scene where the kid who is obviously Corey when he was a teenager did not want to.
That is not me when I was a teenager.
Was dragged to fucking church and was sitting there like looking at his watch, going, "Oh my God, really, people? Come on!" I kept thinking, "That's you, Corey. That's you up there."
No, that kid was sitting in church like Cyrus at a Twilight movie.
Yeah,
just checking his watch.
Yeah.
And it's funny because he got so bored with the sermon that he turned. His dream was the black nativity.
Yeah, I know.
He got tired looking at that white Jesus, and he just said, "Shit, I'm gonna have dreams about black Jesus."
I got to make this shit look cool.
Because he was in it. He was in that dream dancing and shit. You remember that? The whole thing. He's been all rebellious and mad, but that's the part of the dream when he actually got musical.
I know. His whole dream life was musical. Real tough kid.
You know who I was? I was not him as a teenager in church. I'll tell you who I was. Did you see the two ushers in the back when people leaving? The ushers had to open the door for people. That was me.
Oh, is that right?
You were an usher?
I looked like a straight up slave.
You had the black suit and the white gloves.
The white gloves. I look straight up house Negro, man.
So you were a character in that other Forrest Whitaker movie too.
I looked more like Forrest Whitaker and the Butler. In this movie right here. Need to get some water, sir?
You kept that door from slamming shut when the atheists were running out on fire.
And my ass looking like young Uncle Ben something. Hey, church. That's why I'm not religious. That's why I don't eat rice no more.
Oh, that makes too much sense, Corey.
Nah, what can you say, man? There is an audience for this. I don't feel like the audience that this is meant for would even make that time to go see it at the theater because, frankly, I don't think this had the marketing push behind it to get that audience.
Oh, hell no.
I don't think anybody's going to see this in the theater. And they would have been better off sending this straight to DVD. People like my mother, she'll sniff that shit out in a minute when it's on DVD.
Or Lifetime. That's what it felt like.
Oh, my God.
I was just thinking, like, the whole time, I was like, this is a Hallmark Channel movie.
Yeah, there you go.
With black people.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's almost like they made it for the Hallmark Channel.
You're right.
Like,
You're absolutely right.
Too black for us.
I forget about the Hallmark Channel because I got rid of that shit a long time ago. My cable service.
Now, if you step out right here and just make a left, BT is right down the hallway.
That's where we came before we were here.
They sent us over here.
BET and Hallmark got together.
Hallmark. But yeah, I give this a rental.
I think this movie is not even going to appeal to the people it's supposed to. Like,
Really?
I know what you're talking about. Like, you go like, oh, well, it's not for me, but my parents. But I can even see my parents going, like, watching someone and going like, that movie is just too silly.
Yeah.
They don't feel like hearing all that singing.
What
What was the little boy doing? I mean, this is that movie where it's like, I would say, don't rent it. Pick up the bootleg of it. Well, I'm not looking at the camera. It's not even on. But it's that movie. Like my uncle, he'll every Christmas he shows up with his bootlegs of popular movies in the theater, and I'm like trying to tell people, don't watch it like this. You can barely see it. This movie, I'd be like, no, this is the perfect way to watch it because you'll just think all these flaws are just part of the transfer. You won't know. I'm so close to giving it some old bullshit, but I guess I just didn't get mad. There's just something fascinating about it.
Come on, you had fun laughing at this.
Yeah, so I'm
Black Jesus is listening.
I'm gonna give it a low rental.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I think people who this is catered to have seen this story a billion times. I mean, how many
story ever told.
Yeah. I mean,
My mom has 10 Tyler Perry plays on her shelf.
Okay, well there you go.
That are more interesting than
well,
this.
she probably could be like, I liked it better when Tyler Perry did it. What is this?
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is, it definitely seems like just too dated for anybody to be really interested in. But yeah, people are going to go out of just general curiosity over it, especially when you got Forrest Whitaker's name on it, which I'm sure that's probably going to be the one and only selling point, especially since he just got off the Butler movie.
Right.
But other than that, no, I did have fun watching with you guys because it was like a laugh a minute.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it was.
But yeah, saying that though, it's a rental. I still found it entertaining despite its ridiculousness.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Leon, support black business.
Yeah.
Buy the bootleg off of Africa.
Yeah, support black business. Support black Jesus.
Yeah, support black Jesus.
When you go Black Friday shopping, look for the guy who has it in the trunk of his car.
Black Friday for a reason.
It's time to forgive, and it's time to come home.